Hello, friends. How are we doing today? Hopefully the weekend has treated you guys well. Some things waking up here. Think audio's working just fine. Looks to be. Got ourselves some Stream Raiders up on the screen. I didn't even look to see what we had going on. We need to play some Flying Rogues. I think I can do that. We'll go up here. But yes, friends, how are we all doing today? That didn't work. There we go. Been kind of a quiet weekend for me. Went Friday night to a cinema about an hour away and watched the new Ghostbusters movie. Very excellent movie, I must add. If you guys have any enjoyment or love of Ghostbusters, definitely go see this one. It is well worth it. I will be adding it to a Blu-ray collection as soon as it pops up. Check our store here, make sure there ain't nothing we need. Anything we can get for free? No. Alright. Who else? I don't really see anybody else I care to buy scrolls for. Not that important. Alright. There you go, friends. Stream Raiders now active. If you guys want to join the battle, click the link in chat or !SR will get you a fresh link to get you in on the action. Let me do this one. Throw that over here. Move that a little bit over here. Alright. Sinus is flaring up. Genshin just did an update. I'm not really sure. It said something about bug fixes. And I have a feeling it's because of the new...
It's been a while since we last visited the Knights of Avonius. Paimon wonders what Jean and Lisa have been up to recently. Let's go pay them a visit.
Really? I'm not even sure where we're at the moment. Okay, so... the last stream we had with Genshin was the whole fiasco with Furina and putting the magician on trial, which we find out is a Fatui operative. We got to hang out with this beautiful character.
What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Don't you think so, too? Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Why is she beet red? Really only trying to defend Lenny. Wasn't necessarily looking into serial disappearances cases.
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow now, right?
Oh, she looks so let down.
I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are just travelers who have only arrived in Fontaine after all. Sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Don't say that, Navia.
And we were having so much fun investigating with you, too.
Okay.
It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal? Well, guess you really did treat us as partners, huh?
She gets excited over the food.
Well,
And
I'd just like to
I
have
agree.
a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later. Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
Well, let's go have that
You
meal.
don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navi is treating, count Paimon in.
Oh, wonderful. In that case, why don't we return to the Court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer? I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
All right, then. Let's have our farewell meal.
Oh, okay, that concludes the whole semi-automatic forging. Go to the workshop. Go to the hotel. Okay. We're going that way. So what's everybody up to this Sunday evening? Hopefully the weather is as fair there as it is here. Though it is supposed to drop down in temperature pretty far. I think it's supposed to get to like 35 or something tonight. Oh, we're gonna go that way? Okay. Where is Uppies? Why are we glitching? Ew. Below us. There you are. Gimme, 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 gimme. Let's see. Get over to here. How's the audio, by the way, friends? If anybody happens to be around. Should be able to make it up pretty easy from here. Alright. Any flowers? Any secrets? I don't see any. See, that might be a thing there. This one or the next one? No, Sucrose. Are you a squirrel or a dog? Figured out. Okay, so there is something right there. Oh, okay, that's just a ledge. Well, we had to know. Left control. Hey! Oh, what's that? Alright. Sometimes these strange clusters of transoceanic source water will appear beside you, allowing you to unleash power using your will and deliver attacks. When attacking specials, frontier aberrants, their powers can be absorbed for a certain period. Okay. And go down there. Nice. Hey, and we don't have to worry about drowning or anything like that. Utilizing left control, though, it's kind of a pain in the butt. Ah. The box. Nice. But you guys aren't giving me nothing. I'm putting forth all this effort. Alright. Enough goofing. We hadn't explored that function yet, so it's kind of nice to be able to do something new. Yeah, we need to get up on this point here. Time, Sucrose! Uh-oh. Let's go over here. Let's see, we need to... Oh, we were supposed to go up over there. Okay, we can fix this. We can fix this. I think. We should be able to make it up here. Snap, crackle, pop. This is just one of the waterways, isn't it? Nice. Alright. So... the flowers we can get from up here while we're here. Because I know this area introduced a few new ones, which will no doubt be required for some of the newer ladies to get their boosts. I'm not seeing anything sparkle though, so I don't think we have that to worry about. Hello? There we go. Wait. What's up with that? Ooh, that's fancy. If you've never been to Las Vegas, they actually have a hotel that has a really huge fountain area, and they do these musical shows where things like that kind of play to the music. That was probably one of the nicer things that I got to experience there in Vegas myself. She's so cute. Where are we gonna go? Oh, all the way back over here? We would be walking quite a ways. I got distracted. I forgot we had a map we can teleport with. My bad. Okay. Mi scusi.
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
In that case, I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Ooh, everything looks so good.
Not gonna lie, I go for a good bowl of
sure
soup.
know how to enjoy life.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
You, sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
Certainly worth celebrating. It was a pleasure. Yeah, we'll go with the celebration.
Oh, true. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Huh? Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food.
She's such a sweet bean. Look at her.
Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking. We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability, it's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough. Which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exist. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through. Where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
Wanted to ask the Hydro Archon for some information, but we haven't had much opportunity to do so.
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
Okay, she's worming her way into my heart. Let's not be having this. I've already got a long line of ladies here. A bunch of waifus, as it
Spina di
were.
Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you think?
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions.
I'm glad we're rocking a female character in this, because that would be sketchy as all... I mean, it's still sketchy as all get out, but it's a whole different perspective of sketchy with Aether.
I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Ah, valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep.
Okay. Nappy is.
All right, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court. clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense.
Would someone with her personality really feel shame? That is a good question.
Why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Was this your drink? Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like...
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
Apologies, there's a
Alright.
pesky hangnail or
Honestly,
something.
Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
It's bothering me. My drink also tasted that way.
Is that so? Huh. Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fanta here then.
Unless it was poison.
If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia.
We have literal millions in Mora. We should be the ones paying. Poor girl.
Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore.
You could try walking.
Nah, that would be so... normal. You know, like you.
Hi, Tigressa. How are you doing, friend? Be normal like you. Hey, heck you.
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left with...
Hey, Navia, what are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Pretty pricey meal, all thanks to Paimon.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again.
I kind of want to give him Mora.
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your request the highest priority.
Glad to hear you're good. Hopefully your weekend is treating you well.
In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya!
I feel bad. I don't want to leave her without freaking money. That was not nice. Are you kidding me? We have to go all the way back over here? Damn it. Ugh. It's been a rather quiet one for me today. And yesterday. I kind of slept half my day away yesterday.
There aren't many people around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Araneas might have been the last one.
Vache.
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? Are you hearing voices again?
It's clearer than it was during the day.
Ugh. That's kind of spooky. Are you sure we don't want to come back in the morning?
Vache. Vache.
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? There might be something nasty in the water.
Feel strong emotions.
Hang on. Paimon can kind of hear a voice. It's calling for Vache, right? Hey, traveler! Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Oh!
Vache. Are you my dear Vache? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is? Wait. Who am I? I'm very sorry. I fear I do not know.
Poor thing.
My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten?
You were once human?
Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I am but the consciousness of one who has lost their form. I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water, and then all grew dim.
She'd been one of the girls who were dissolved.
I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure, loved exploring places of peril. And no matter where I went, Vacher would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me. And I also loved him equally as much. But now, we can no longer go back. The pain of such parting. I never knew how heavy it could be. No, our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memories. The thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie forgotten beneath the waters. If you meet Vacher, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. That is the only thing I still remember. Perhaps that is so. As I
Any
was
big
submerged
plans
in the
going
waters,
into the new week, friends?
losing consciousness, I saw Vacher above the surface. His eyes were filled with such sorrow, such longing. If only I could have comforted him, told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, I had felt a great warmth.
Cher was a witness to the fact you dissolved.
Is that what you call it? Dissolving? If anything, I consider it a form of release. It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water's still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety.
Seems after the body's dissolved, some measure of the consciousness still remains.
I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think.
I wonder how much time has passed in reality.
Farewell, then. I am glad that you were able to sense my presence. Remember, if you see Vacher, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
Kind of hoping we was getting a new floaty companion, because there's people that's got these things, but they may only be for special events. That's kind of sad that I've missed out on them. Whoa, what's going on? Whoa, 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 what the hell happened?
Mademoiselle, look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex.
Why are they coming this way?
Chlorand?
Okay, so she's not with them. And she's hot, so, you know. They're actually backing away from her in fear.
Quick, now's our chance!
Lord. Freaking heavy ass mechs, and she just spun around with her legs. Okay, answers now. What the hell happened?
I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Clorand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same, were he alive today.
Do not speak of my father!
Sorry, demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with the Maison Gardiennage could control them.
One second. Just getting that going.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law.
Ah, okay. So answers are given. We're figuring it out.
I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a private force of sorts.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clorand. But if you get any ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you. Good day, all.
Okay, this went from sort of kind of being
Right.
a wholesome
I suppose
encounter
that's
to,
the best news we've gotten today.
to chaos. I like chaos, though.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Clorand was being sincere with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, she's...
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us!
So, it wasn't going after her, it was coming after us.
Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorand who came out to save us too! We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
Thanks for the rescue.
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. In truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast. As such, we're still partners. There's no need to thank me.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed somehow? Ooh, Paimon's even more amazing than she thought!
Yes, all thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
How did that help?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said. That the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky.
Thought it tasted strange as well, but I couldn't be sure.
Fanta only comes in sweet flavors, so how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off.
So So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
Yes. So, if you hadn't drunk that cup for me...
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
Huh. Really?
Fortunately, Paimon, neither of us are from Fontaine. Otherwise, we would
I
have
sent
been.
people to Hotel de Boer to investigate. But whoever did this left no trace at all. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger, and hurried here as quickly as I could.
What? Why would they go after us, too? All we did was defend Lenny in court and help clear his name. Ugh, now we're caught up in this mess, too, aren't we?
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
Well, it can't be a coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. She said that she heard that voice calling for Vache again. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too, but it was real faint. Does this situation have to do with the primordial seawater then?
Ability to hear voices like it has to do with one's sensitivity to the hydro element.
Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
Also gain some new intel.
New intel? While you were out cold?
Well, let's hear it, shall we?
The voice of the fountain belonged to one of the missing women. A person named Vache was a witness that when she dissolved.
Oh, that is important.
Tell everybody about what connected to the ocean and...
Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he have been threatened?
Try searching.
Thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate.
Alright, partner.
Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
Of course, she is such a sweet
Well,
lady.
you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right? And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
This will prove to be their biggest mistake.
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
It's funny.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you. We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But we'll take that one step at a time, I guess.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
You get there and it's on fire. Okay. Real quick. Wanted to see... Okay, so we got a little bit of Mora. Nah, we won't worry about the survey right now. Back. I wanted to see who's on the Wish banner at the moment. Okay, so Chiori, which I've been hearing a lot of good things about her. And then the crazy dude, which I really could care less. He's supposed to be pretty damn good, though. And I already have at least one of these people. I think she's up to like C3 now. Not sure on him, and she is just on her own. I think I've only gotten her once. We don't have much in the way of Prima Gems, so we're not going to worry about that right now. We've only got 8 days on it. Ooh, excuse me. Anyway. Achievements. Let's collect some Prima Gems. Anything? Ooh. Nothing else. Alright. Also a ways away. Back to the city we go. It looks like a lot of this stuff is ooh. We got some swimming to do, it looks like. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to go up here and get this one, if we can. And there's a whole bunch of them we missed over here, too. We're already this close. Let's see if we can't find our way to there. Ooh, flower. A lot of them, too. Okay, the xenochromatic ball octopus, which is to spout out strange watercolored energy. Hold to aim and release continuously. Eh?
Healthy body, healthy mind.
I don't get it. I don't see... whatever. We'll come back to that once we have something figured out. Seriously, what? I don't get it.
We're way behind schedule.
Okay, we need to go this way. The harmonious reed pipe requires ripples released by bursting dew bubbles to be activated. The number of runes displayed on top shows which order is required to activate the same group of harmonious reed pipes for the challenge. Okay. It's really not what I'm going for, though. Ah, there it is. I see it now. This way? Okay, so there's a statue of the seven. Is that just a normal waypoint statue? Wait, where was I supposed to go? I see another one way off in the distance. I think that's also...
Next on the agenda.
Got it. Alright. Crystal core. Get over there. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna leave you guys to it. Where's my ship? There's my ship. What do we get? Okay. I happily take the free flowers. One up there. What's that?
Let's move out.
Okay, I'm enjoying the music. Nice, got all 3 crystal flies. Okay. So this one's super close to this one. It looks like there's a lot of them that's underwater. I wonder what that is. Huh. Anyway. So, roll out to here. Teleport currently disabled. What? Oh, because we have to finish this. My bad. What I wanted to do. You don't have very many of them anyway, so it's fine. What's this? Okay. A little bit of Mora, I guess. So, it's showing that there is... Yeah, it looks like it's going to be underground. Let's hide inside that building there. Or what's left of the building.
Let's move out. Horn of ice and frost. Blaze over. With swords and shadows. Speed of light.
Well, that was easy.
Not bad, as far as treasure is concerned.
Okay, we got another one of those Hydrock. Wait, what's done here? Hello? Feather valve. Use 1 crystal receiver node to create a bidirectional valve. Though it is not the original designer intended to use the energy of the xenochromatic ball octopus can push receiver nodes. Oh. So we do this. Okay, so we're supposed to use the Z, right? Or T. Why is it not working? No, I don't get it. Anyway, we were going to slide up over here, open up this extra portion of the map real quick, and then continue our story. She's right there. Not very difficult to find. See some more free flowers, so we'll go grab those right quick. About you, little buddy. Ow! Got it. Barely. We got it. Okay, nice. Now we have a nice big open area. Lots of waypoints to go unlock. Looks like 2 more statues to get to, which we could get this one if we wanted to real quick. Wouldn't take long. Only got 5. We need 20 for the first go around. I ain't even worried about it. Okay, so it's showing that there might be one down here. It's underground, apparently. See you. Not too bad of a hiding spot. Excuse me, Burb. Hang on.
Next on the agenda.
Okay, so that one goes. Alright, let's see what we gotta do. Send you in. Send you in.
There's nothing wrong with reaping a reward every now and then.
Well, there's a blue mark where we were just at. I didn't see anybody with a blue mark over their head, though. What am I missing? Oh. Okay. Most of the inscription has been scratched out, but you can make out Clear Dew sings in the foggy forest path. Many words have been scratched out. These look like introductions to attractions, don't they? Some tourists are just so inconsiderate. Tourists usually only write stuff, don't they? No, wait, we're good people. We wouldn't do that. It's strange, isn't it? Why would they scratch out the words and just leave a bit in? So many scratches on this sentence, too. Paimon bet they didn't manage to scratch it out completely. Lucky foggy forest path, you slipped through the cracks. The forest paths are super foggy? Paimon feels like checking it out, you know? It sounds like the sort of thing that might lead to secret treasure. That's how it is in the books, anyway. Which stall did you get that book from? Which, yeah. Paimon doesn't just eat all day. Paimon has a strong feeling that there's treasure hidden in the Foggy Forest path. Never mind that. It's treasure hunting time with your best friend and her super treasure detecting senses. Okay, so... why are you pointing me down here? Semi-automatic forging. I did see that popping up. But, that's kind of where I want to go. I want to get this next part going. Alright, where are we going? We're supposed to be heading towards Navia's place of business, as it were. Her stronghold.
Next on the agenda.
It's right up ahead, but let's make sure we weren't followed first.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious thus far.
Very good. But let's not let our guard down for now.
I shall find rooms for our respected guests.
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue, traveler.
Cool. Kind of reminds me of Person of Interest. One of the later seasons they come across. They have to abandon what they're doing, and ends up they find, or they're led, would be more of the right word, to an abandoned subway in New York City to restart their base of operations again. This kind of reminds me of that a little bit. I'm glad we can teleport, though, because trying to climb all that up would be an absolute pain in the butt. Children. Think so. I think I just saw poop floating down the stream there. We really don't want to be in there if we can help it. Okay, nobody wants to talk. Kitty cat. And a waypoint. Let's go. Talk to Malus. Alright, well, we're going to do this first, because this actually looks really, really cool. It'll make a hell of a Minecraft area. Underground city, sorts. Do you wish to talk? Ah, you do! Is there any legal service I can provide? You're an attorney. So I have Oreos, and I'm going to consume one. You cannot stop me now. Wish I could have become a champion duelist, but that's not happening in this life. Can't fight like I really can't. I'm the type who would knock herself on the head with a sheath sword. Oh, poor thing. If there's a talent I do have at searching. As long as the case details are clear, I can quickly find all the relevant legal clauses. It's got its own little city down here.
So, this is your base? It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately. After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
Seriously, I would like to donate Mora.
Your father... He was the previous boss of Spina di Rosula, right?
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain.
No. I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And as partners, this is something I hope they can understand.
Ah! Hello there, River Eye. How are you doing today?
My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor instead of standing trial.
Thank you so much for the resubscription. 20 months. Holy cow. How was your Sunday, friend?
Oh no.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer.
Nice
I'm sure
lazy
he was
Sunday.
sad.
I agree. It's exactly what I did.
At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence.
Most of watching Better Call Saul. Sounds like a good way to spend the Sunday.
But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that.
Still can't place that. Come on, here we go.
How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself.
You have any clues as to why?
The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Ah, so that's why you're so determined to get to the bottom of that case.
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in, but I haven't found a single new clue in my countless reviews of the investigation records. However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something.
So what's River Eye up to for the rest of the evening?
I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must get to the truth. If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me. And now, here I am investigating his death. You really are a handful, aren't you, Papa?
Seeking the truth for the sake of your family.
Demoiselle, please, if there is anything I can do.
Just watching me for a
Anything at
bit?
all.
Well, I appreciate having you here.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone.
I almost
None
did some
whom I
Minecrafting,
respect
but
more than the two of you, Demoiselle.
I'm not quite ready for that one yet, I don't think. I'm not sure exactly which angle to go after.
Master Callus did so much good in life, yet all it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful.
Mostly because in 1.20, they've changed how you apply netherite. And I have not been able to find a good place to get the template necessary to make this work. It's driving me nuts.
Even our supporters decreased greatly due to...
I missed the part where that's my problem.
Strained finances at present.
Wait, if Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. It's not something exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that. People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
But how could... never mind. If Callus was really falsely accused, we have to find the truth. He didn't deserve to have that happen to him.
There is one other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel was Ms. Clorand.
Oh, there's the animosity.
Oh, her? Well, then, isn't that as good as saying that she was the one who killed him?
No wonder the mood was a little strange between the two of you. So basically, for those that are just rolling in, we were at a fountain. Lumine passed out, was having a vision. When we wake up, there is this full-on freaking battle going on around us. Yeah, that was fun. But they did well, though, confusing the crap out of us. It was well done. And then we had a tense moment between the beautiful blonde lady and the lovely purple-haired lady. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were not
That's
too...
not the sort of thing that you can
the blonde
just
was not
let go
happy to
and
see
move
the
on
other
from.
at all.
Miss Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena, there was only ever one choice she could have made.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't deal with this yet.
Don't worry, Navia. Paimon knows how you feel. You don't have to force yourself to do that.
Afterward, Miss Clorand told us that at the start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure Demoiselle Navia's safety.
Indicates that he had intended to die.
Yes, that is our understanding as well.
But I have a feeling it'll end up being a faked death so he could go actually investigate what he needed to do.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me?
It'd be the most logical thing I'd think of.
All right.
Not that I've
Anyway,
been right on most
that's
of
the
this.
information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just complaining towards the end.
Understand how important it is.
Thanks. You two should go and rest. This was quite a day after all.
Yeah. I want to eat.
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will ensure you rest soundly.
It's a Moo. Hi, Moo friend. How are you?
Whether it be responsibility for Spina di Rosula or Master Callus's death, it all landed on Demoiselle's shoulders so suddenly.
Also, I see you there cycling. How are you doing, friend? Pretty late for you, isn't it?
This won't do. I must become stronger.
Everybody hear me all right? You okay playing a farming game? Ooh, which farming game?
So well. This place feels almost too safe. Huh? Navia? Where did the other two go?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
Figuring out moving logistics sucks. It does indeed.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back.
Stardew update. Oh yeah, there was a pretty substantial update to Stardew, wasn't there? I really need to pick that game up. Well, no, I really need to play the game. I'm pretty sure I have the game.
But never mind that. When did you get back? Were you waiting here the whole time?
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some investigating yesterday regarding the name Vache.
Wait, so you didn't sleep at all?
How could I after having such critical new evidence appear?
Guess Paimon wasn't speaking for everyone just now, huh?
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence. It doesn't seem to have a match anywhere. I suspect that those behind this have already taken steps to hinder an investigation from this angle.
Fairly big update did drop.
Does
We need
prove
to check
that
it
this
out.
Vache person is a key witness in the incident.
Does that mean we're too late, though?
No. There is one ray of hope. One place in Fontaine that they would find almost impossible to threaten, no matter how much they wanted to. And that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette. A place where detailed files on all the cases in recent years are kept. If the Oceanette you met is one of the young women who went missing recently, we should be able to find some related information there.
So Neuvillette maintains an archive of case files? Whew. Guess that's the hard-working Chief Justice for you. In that case, let's go talk to him, shall we?
Uh-oh.
Aren't you coming along, Navia? Did you get tired?
No, it's nothing. Let's go see the Honorable Chief Justice.
I think I have her as a character, right? Yeah, there we go. I wonder if we have enough ascension materials. We do not.
Oh.
Ah, okay, so we're gonna have to go blow up more of them crab things. Understood. We haven't given her any weapons or anything anyway. What is her weapon? Oh, she's a claymore user. Looks like my PC updated Stardew yesterday morning. Nice. Steam is pretty good about looking into that kind of stuff for you, so. Alright, let's go. I'm not even sure I have it installed. I know I bought it with the intention of playing it, but I've never really went any further. I never installed the game.
We're way behind schedule.
Is this just going to take me to the Eps to where I have to climb everything? Why don't we just do this?
The Palais is right up ahead. Come on.
I did go ahead and buy the update for Skyrim for my Switch, which we haven't even started playing here at all, but whatever. It's more of an offline game for me. I do need to get an upgraded Switch.
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters.
Huh. This place does look pretty heavily guarded. Guess that proves that Neuvillette's files are really secure.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who you might be related to. Our rules make no exceptions.
They're so small. I just want to give them a hug.
See,
Probably knock me
they've
out,
got
but...
great discipline too.
Who's this? Noah? I don't know a Noah.
Yep.
Ah!
If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy, so please leave if you don't have a reason to be here.
No. What I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the trial of the great magician Linny.
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's attorneys. It's all coming back to me now.
We're here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Huh. Is that even a thing?
Poor thing's confused already.
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business. You can trust us.
All right then, I'll let you through. The Chief Justice is just inside.
Ah, thanks so much.
This gonna get him in trouble.
Please come in.
Holy crap, this guy's got an office, dude. I want it. His office is bigger than my apartment.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur
Confused
Nervalet.
is just stated being
We
usually
only like to
occupied.
get in because
Yeah.
we didn't know any other way.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
So you're not mad at us?
We're looking for a man called Vacher. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
He seems pretty damn cordial.
Who knew that Nervalet would be so easy to talk to?
Also, River, my excuse on being confused all the time is if I look confused, nobody asks me important questions. They even made her look sleepy.
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vacher has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past several years. There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Take never to be the smartest person or differently than I do. Hey, it keeps me out of trouble, and it keeps me from having to do extra work. No, that's actually a lie. My boss knows too much.
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
Is that so? All right then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Nervalet. We'll take our leave now.
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Nervalet? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. You only said those things because you felt like you should. It's just like
Cotton.
last time.
4K.
After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear. If you truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the duel? Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die, despised and hated by all?
Poor thing.
Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything.
Okay, this voice actress is awesome.
There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions he still owes me answers to. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone. It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well, In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Really just want to give her the biggest damn hug. Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to respond or say anything.
Navia, are you okay?
Just shut up, Paimon.
I'm fine. Rain. It's raining.
You're right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building? And there shouldn't be any active trials today. How strange.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also raining.
What is it? Did you think of something?
Was he outside when it happened?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene? That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value.
There was something you didn't know at the time.
Wait. You don't mean...
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water and then got washed away with the rain? Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. You're completely right. How did I not connect the dots earlier?
Seriously though, her voice actress needs to be commended. Because up until that little revelation, she was still almost crying. And now you can feel the happiness.
Alright, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll get to the bottom of my father's case for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna make progress for sure this time.
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head over by yourself later?
Go while the idea's still fresh.
Let's go then.
Oh, has anybody else went to see Ghostbusters yet?
Oh, the sun's out. When did that happen?
I see a chest. It's a shiny thing! I don't know what we're about to battle, but,
Yeah.
Leave it open. Don't blink. Hey!
Access denied. Absorption test.
no, seriously, what the hell is that thing? It almost looks like an agent of the abyss.
Horn of ice.
I've lost it. Where's that? Ah, there it is. He's stuck in the trees.
Animal test 6308. Don't blink. Hold
Get
on.
out of there.
Speed of light. Hey!
Where's he? Where's he? So, what was he? Wait a minute, was it this button? Aha! Oh. Oh, a hydrohelitro rogue. Huh. Interesting.
Not bad, as far as treasure is concerned.
Okay. Get back to it. Ah, I see it. it now. Oh, check this place out, guys. Nice. That looks badass. Okay, so we're still progressing.
Whoa! What a huge ship! Why would a ship be anchored at a place like this?
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula's headquarters. My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
I think I'm starting to get why you like it.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past. Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all. It's our main base, our home.
Gotta get to the ship.
Watch where you're going. If you get hit by my wrench, it's your own darn fault.
Ma'am, I'll smack you with a sword. How about that, huh? Up. Climb, 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 climb. Hunter's bow, not worth a damn. I want to get to the backside and see what's there. Okay. Is there anything up here? Yeah, we can definitely make it anyway. This ship looks pretty shoddy. Hello? Ooh, a chest. Let's go.
You give, you receive.
I'm about to make rank level 55. Come on, fall down. And we can make it up this. Try it again. Okay, so how can we get over there? Yeah. Oh, come on now. Thank you. What's going on?
Melus, we're back!
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners. You said before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea? You still remember, right, Melus? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call impossible murders.
Mastermind be the same person.
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began to gain popularity in Poisson. At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood and produce many pleasant hallucinations.
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that the primordial water could be used to produce some kind of potion?
Yes, He did. Considering what we know now, it's almost certain that synth is created using water from the primordial sea. If you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions. And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything. It's an extremely dangerous substance. As he oversaw Poisson, my father was compelled to put a stop to synth abuse and called for a complete ban of it.
Oh, really?
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath, but no matter how much they threatened or bribed him, he refused to yield. Not only that, Boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation and put an end to the problem once and for all.
Smart man. Don't just get rid of the dealers, you get rid of the person producing it. And figure out if anybody else knows the secret recipe.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers. All of whom only sold the stuff and weren't privy to the rest of the operation. Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. Finally, he was able to convince someone to become his informant. The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some food. But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun, and Jacques, who was already dead on the ground.
Huh? How did that happen? Aren't they on the same side?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any motive at all. Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were pieces of clothing left at the scene.
So the guy killed Jacques and doused himself to dissipate. Did it have belonged to someone who got
Precisely.
dissolved?
It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet.
Push, click.
But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a
friends, for
third
your
person at the
placements.
scene. With one extra person, we'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired. You're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring it all out. I'm finally headed towards the truth.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlike, I think this third person is probably the key to the full truth.
But
on that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as your and your father's butler, I must still offer a word of warning. Our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes to step back and give up on the case.
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have told me that himself. Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the end? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaninglessly? I've never accepted that, ever. Not since that day, and certainly not now. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself.
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and more importantly, Demoiselle, I think you're also ready to take this on.
So you do know something else, Malus.
I'm not gonna lie, but her dress is just freaking awesome.
Yes,
I could enjoy having her in our
even
cutscenes
before
for the
that
rest of the
banquet,
game.
Boss already knew of the connection between Synth and the serial disappearances case. But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, Demoiselle, had been selected as the next target to disappear.
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left to live, and the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict, but once he passed away, all the danger would pass on to you. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina di Rosula about the details.
So there's a mole.
But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Right, so nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful was still far preferable than losing face in front of his daughter.
Poor thing.
So he chose to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, Demoiselle. What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol, but a sword. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
That fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight? No. He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought I'd be able to understand him. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now?
Gave you the choice to live how you wanted.
Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a care in the world. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
It's the location where Synth is produced. Essentially, it's the enemy's headquarters.
Hello, hazy friend. How are you doing?
When he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found. But if you want to use it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several things into consideration.
Doing fine. Bit sleepy. Trying to, relax as hard as possible so Monday isn't too big of a drag, but it'll be what it'll be.
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
Get some rest. I'm trying. I haven't done anything too strenuous. Got chores done, and that's about it. Slept a good part of yesterday away.
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization.
What are you up to for the evening, friend?
For decades. There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to find inside, nor what people we may be able to capture.
We're also just kind of admiring Navia because she is so pretty.
But a single visit
well, I am at least. I can't vouch for any of the other viewers.
Of war. The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Then, in that case, why not work with the Fontaine
Nothing
authorities?
much. Going to sleep soon. Got appointment at the doctor's tomorrow. Oh no. Well, I hope they give you some good news, friend.
Well, you saw one
I hope everything goes well and you're okay.
Case. We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
Huh. That's true. Seems my father really had no choice. But things are different now. It should be a lot easier to prove the other side's guilt, now that we've connected Synth with the disappearances case.
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into this, Maloose.
I am the butler, after all. I live but to serve the boss and Demoiselle's will. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping secrets, performing basic investigations, and waiting for the right time to come.
You gonna learn today?
No, I don't wanna. Hello, Azura. How are you?
Thank you.
Getting pretty late for you, too.
Have you discovered anything new in the past few years?
Let me think. One conclusion I came to...
You gonna learn today?
The enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula, or at least have an informant planted here.
Samir, like I heard an echo in the voices. It might be because I have my microphone about 1.5 feet away from the speakers. I don't have a good stand or anything yet.
When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf,
I need a better setup, honestly.
Keep a few people in the dark and observe the reactions of the synth vendors.
Try
if
that.
The vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news. After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to 3 people.
I would die well, I'm probably still going to end up going to sleep around midnight or 1 o'clock since I've screwed up my sleep schedule again, but just means more energy tea to drink tomorrow.
The first is Florent, Spina di Rosula's senior advisor.
Huh? Florent?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who understood Boss really well. Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plans and could thus avoid capture this whole time.
What's the sleep schedule? When you go to sleep at 5 a.m. and wake up at 11? I mean, if you're doing that continuously, yes? Question mark?
There's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Man, all these French words.
Uncle Marcel.
What is this Confrère?
It's a guild in Poisson.
That's my schedule.
The boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence. In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds around, with a lot of business connections in the city.
Work at 1 p.m., so I find it easier just to play stuff during the night. That's true.
So, they're like a sister organization of Spina di Rosula?
It means a colleague? Oh. I honestly wish I had picked any other language besides German to learn in high school. One of those things that I wish I could go back in time with what I know now, with my memories and everything intact, go back to as just entering high school. There would be a lot of changes made.
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers, they provided us with plenty of support. It's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money.
You gonna learn today?
I don't want to learn things, Pure. I wish to remain dumb. How are you, Pure?
The final
Hopefully
suspect
Sunday's
is
treating
Thierry,
you well.
the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the guards.
Ah, I saw that pop up. I also failed pretty hard at drinking water today, so I'm trying to catch up on that as well.
Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local authorities.
Been an okay day, relaxing more before another week of work? I agree, friend.
Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
Receive the new model by the end of the week? Very nice, Hazy. I am so excited for you. I can't wait to see it. Are you going to be teasing it on Twitter with the whole, like and retweet thing to get goals to reveal it? Or are you just going to show it to everybody and be like, here I am?
I see. These are all people who I communicate with quite regularly. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most.
Getting a reveal sheet?
Almost
Nice.
too hard to believe.
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry.
I very much look
Judging
forward to
from our
this.
experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
Oh, Hazy, was there a problem with your Minecraft server? I tried to go on there yesterday to go do some exploring, and it said it couldn't resolve the host.
Of course. And thank you, Malus. You've provided us with a lot of great information.
Twitch in mid-April. Nice.
You're too kind, my lady. I'm just doing my duty.
I meant to post it on the your Discord, and then I don't remember what distracted me. I think I went and took a nap by accident.
And before I forget,
I was really
proving
bad about
Boss's
napping
innocence would
yesterday.
also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care.
Squirrel!
They still live in Poisson today.
That is painfully accurate.
If it might help, you could also pay them a visit. I can make the necessary arrangements.
Oh, thank you so much, Malus. You really are the best.
Mostly because I found a, what are those special caves underground that the,
Sakami! Basically God, but I'm still here! Do you really believe your own hype that much? I am the hype!
I love that so. Not renew the subscription for the moment. Money's tight until I can secure the job I am. Well, I understand. I was also looking at some hosting services for a Minecraft server because the other server that I normally play on is also...
You kind of smell...
What the...
like a baka.
What the hell does a baka smell like? But yeah, but the other server that I normally play on, he's got a server lined up, but waiting for spots to open up. I'm like, that really sucks. I kind of want to play on a server. So I've been kind of eyeballing. I need to research which one's going to be good.
A new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work together to uncover the truth and end this case once and for all.
I noticed decent ones are ranging anywhere from $15 to $25 a month. So I've just kind of need to read up on it, see which one's going to offer the better ones, and... Navia, I agree, Pure.
He keeps kicking me in the dick! Why? Why does he keep kicking me in the dick?
I love that. That was one of their better ones. There's a better one, but I can't access Blurp from OBS, so I'm kind of sad.
Get that bitch a cannon. Bitches love cannons.
Sergeant Johnson would agree. He knows what the ladies like. Ah, kitty! Okay, so visit Jacques' family. Okay. Actually, it's gonna be worth it.
Good job!
Give me a second. I gotta load it up. I've got to. Let's see. Mute and come on. Where's Blurb? Where's it at? I think it was this one. Is it gonna let me play it? No! Do you still want to be my mod? I will happily be your mod if, so long as I can be there to help. I keep running into that issue a little bit here and there. Damn, I can't play it. Twitch is screwing up on my side. It won't let me get there from here. Try this one more time. Come on. Nope, not that one. There it is. Come on, let me play it.
You know what? All of you better duck, because I'm about to turn left, and I don't want to smack you with my dick.
That one's my favorite. And I want to play it some on other people's streams, and I'm like, that's too vulgar, I'm pretty sure, so I better not do that. Let me get Edge shut back off here. Someone likes T.I. enough to ask him to model another account instead of just quietly getting rid of him? I know, right? It's kind of crazy. Personal reasons, but also because I wanted to start a new journey. That's fair enough. 1 second. Don't look at me that way, cat. Alright, my sinuses decided to smack me in the face.
In adventuring, as in business, you always have to seize the opportunity while it's there.
A very kind friend of mine for a long time. Aw, thank you. Just because you've also been equally nice. So, let's see. Haha. They were last playing No Game. Anyway, friends, you should definitely make sure to visit Hazy. At least it didn't say you have no game, Hazy. That would have been an altogether different burn. You are too nice. Don't even start with that silliness. But yes, go follow Hazy. Try and help make sure she feels extra loved so she gets that extra debut.
It is settled then.
T.I. has no
Please
game.
excuse
T.I.
me
has
and
no
enjoy your
Riz, no
conversation
game.
at your leisure.
This is a well-established fact.
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Malus.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
Channel's resident troll that is also somehow a mod.
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
If it makes you feel any better, Cycling just kept being here, so he got modded. I think I modded Moo, but Moo has to be removed from that position.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques?
Ah, that felt so nice. This is the only channel I'm on anyways, and I'm good with that. We don't have a lot of activity go on here. Just the occasional need to shout out people. Wanna be a stop on the Ethan Goes to the Opposite Coast tour?
That comes with losing a
of
father
course.
so needlessly.
Just let me know when that could happen.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you. And to all of us.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again.
Also want to get an Among Us night again. Hope you all be able to make it. Well, I really hope so too. I had a lot of fun with those, except for that one night where we had the troll come in. If only Eclipse Day wasn't a Monday. I am not looking forward to Eclipse Day. Actually, we all kind of want to just call in extremely sick because the boss and one of the coworkers is heading south. We are expected to have 180,000 people in a town that hosts approximately 30,000. We're not going to be able to get around that whole day. B-Day night 2. I know, I was terrible. I was so mad. And I tried to mute them, not realizing I didn't have the abilities to mute them. That was upsetting too. River has not met me in person. We've just known each other since 2002 range? Question mark? 2004?
He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything.
I've known Kerm since 99 range.
So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so...
Don't worry, Hazy. We'll make sure the next time is going to be a good one. Just like the last time was.
They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us.
Does that mean someone ordered Jacques to take out Callis?
I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he had done.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man. So why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man, right?
And a little sad I'm going to miss out on the Lethal Company. But, I mean, I understand everybody else is wanting to get in on it, and I am fully okay with that. And hopefully there'll be another one where it can be done at a later time.
Yeah.
During the weekend, which will make it easier.
Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons.
If it's to other time zones, that'd be nice.
Regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword.
What you doing down there?
He must have done so to give you a better life.
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
Testimony from Jacques' family. Struggled greatly with the order to kill Callus. Did Callus act in self-defense, or was there more to the incident? Okay. Ah, over yonder. Gotcha.
Are you okay, Navia?
Clink, 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 clink,
Don't
clink.
worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next.
I know there's been a lot of people
Rock
that's
should be
not
nearby,
been doing Lethal
and we should be
Company
able
at
to
all,
find Thierry and
simply
Uncle Marcel
because
in
of
the city.
the issues others
I'll
have
get
had with
myself
hacking
together
and
on the
such.
way. So please don't worry.
There was a fairly
Greetings,
big
boss.
streamer
How may I be
that
of
was trying to
assistance
do a
today?
Lethal Company stream, and somebody kept jumping into their lobby somehow, and they still don't know how, so it kind of got around. People were like, well, I'm not going to touch Lethal Company for a bit until some of this gets worked out, but they're not sure if they were able to do it by using that streamer's code to get their mods, or what was going on. I mean, Lethal Company, like, by itself was fine. It was just something to do with the mod package. That or through someone? Possible, but there's been other people that have also said they had similar incidents where people just randomly showed up in the lobby that wasn't supposed to be there.
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
I mean, honestly, I could easily host it with whatever mods, because I'm so small of a streamer that really nobody's going to bother targeting me. But somebody like Mincy or anybody else, I could see them, because they average 70 to 90 people a stream. They could become a target for people attempting hacks and stuff.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside, and we found some clothes left at the scene. After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case.
Was that one person who has to ruin it? It's, yeah, for everybody. In every predicament, in every game and fun thing, we've got that one person to break it and ruin it.
Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callus was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table.
Oh my neck just popped. Ah.
After that,
so nice.
He told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after? My first reaction was that Mr. Callus's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene. But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callus was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
Wait a minute. The one testimony said that Callus had both guns.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Didn't he? I thought so.
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But I've never really bought that explanation. Reason being, Mr. Callus had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene.
Okay, so that's also new information.
But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person.
Not gonna lie, would be also something to consider.
about the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a third person there who was turned into water?
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have the gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on the scene.
I could have swore they mentioned that he had both guns in hand.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callus ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys? But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us? He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
About that, Malus told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then, I'll leave Mr. Callus's honor in your hands, boss.
And the story just keeps getting more and more twisted.
And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callus the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callus, even after so many years have passed.
I don't really feel Florent is anybody we need to worry about.
But it was Mr. Callus's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today, no matter what others might say. He'll always be the man I respect the most.
Alert, thank you, friend, for the
He'll always
alert.
be my boss.
Hope you have a good evening and good sleep when you make it that far, friend. No. Get myself
Don't worry.
straightened here
I
a
will
little bit.
definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
I'm sorry, but she's just so damn pretty. I keep getting lost. Laurent, the advisor to the Spina di Rosula, claimed that he was very grateful to Callus for his kindness, was also present for the banquet on the day in case could provide evidence Callus did not carry a gun with him when he went out. So clearly there was a third party.
For work-life balance, but I think this is pushing it.
Whoa. You're making a trip. Oh, man. Salad come back to visit. Oh, hello, guard person.
Hey, Thierry, it's me.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
Oh, so you've got news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the Guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson.
Okay, so he's not doing anything yet to dissuade me from thinking he's part of the bad guy scheme.
Callus did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rosula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours? You, here for some form?
Yes. These two are my partners. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? I was also flabbergasted when I first heard of it.
Oh, so she's a Geo user. You know, we need to really spend a few days working on just beefing up and leveling some characters.
If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Gardamex?
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city. So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do is get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling them.
Okay, so it takes controllers.
If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your baggage. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardamex. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret.
Okay, my boy is still not digging himself out of the hole because he knows how to do it.
So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private units. They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both.
Probably the Fatuid.
Now that you mention it, though, being in the synth business would definitely be profitable enough to afford this.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation. I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
Okay. Person responsible for visual contact between the spin. Let's go. Down. Opposite of uppies. We want downies. Whee. Good. Maybe we need to go down in here. Nice. I'm actually kind of fascinated by that thing. It really doesn't take much to fascinate me, though, so...
Hello. How may I help you? I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking for him.
Sure. I will let him know right away.
Okay. Marcel arrives in a hurry.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Okay, that's funny. I like that.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea. If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabriere will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests.
Oh, how criminal.
Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
Of a gunshot?
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more. See if there are any valuable clues elsewhere.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora. All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
Wait, I thought I saw a sparkly over here. Ah, I did. Okay, so go over the clues with Navia. You know, Pure, I need to send you a link to a YouTube channel, and if I can remember to do so this evening. I think you'll get some enjoyment out of it anyway. Oh, I just gotta go here.
We've talked to all three suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
Really stood out as a suspect.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then my father wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years. Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
But where should we start? Ah, you're right! Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance. That makes sense.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
It's entirely possible that the third person was there to make sure it happened. Was actually the one to kill Jacques and missed killing Callus.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Wouldn't have fired a shot at all.
And why is that?
Could he guarantee his safety after killing Callus? Could he guarantee his family's safety after killing Callus?
Oh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the Order and seek protection from my father.
Seems the third person was the one who derailed.
Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory. Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex? Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him. And they worked together on a large number of projects. Maybe that's how he got to know Jacques.
Just the money thing.
And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large number of Gardamex. It's still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle Marcel has been around since I was just a child.
Does not mean a thing.
Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of mora and energy to fight his own synth business? Thierry, you say? Huh. It is possible that he's figured out a way to convert the Gardamex for personal use.
I mean, he's technically suspect number one, but I just kind of wanted to rule out the other guy from the perspective of having so much money, the connections, etc.
But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also don't think he'd be able to keep that kind of tampering under wraps.
Yeah, had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to prove it with a simple check of the guard's inventory. If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and how that happened.
Florent? It is true that he was closest to my father, and thus had the best chance of learning about his dealings with Jacques. But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security, so he shouldn't have much means when it comes to finances.
I didn't have him pegged at all.
So you're saying he's too broke to afford a mecha army?
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to dispatch a whole group so quickly. Who could it be?
Okay, so 3 years ago on a rainy night, goers heard 2 gunshots. When they reached the scene, Callus had a gun in his hands and Jacques had been shot and slain. Based on the investigation done then, there was no possibility. Callus was thus adjudged to have been the culprit. Jacques' family believes that he had struggled greatly with the order to kill Callus. Did Callus act as self-defense, or was there more to the incident? Florent, the advisor, claimed that he was very grateful to Callus for his kindness. He was also present at the banquet on the day of the case. Can provide evidence that Callus did not carry a gun with him when he went out. Consider the end of the Gardamex. Only one person really fits the bill. Responsible for official contact between K.
You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these 3, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case for the 3, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well.
Good way to deflect attention from yourself is to give you 3 good suspects.
The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
Someone who's very close to you after all.
We still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky. But we don't have any other options right now. We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Hello, court jester. Thank you for the lurk, friend.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did something happen?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this one?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
What? Is that someone you know?
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Well,
what did he do?
He's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. It's absurd, don't you think?
Wait, how? None of our investigations have had anything to do with him.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away.
Dancing Dino.
If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Right, because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Yeah, and it'll be a lot harder then to clear Mr. Callus's name.
I understand. Well, partner, what do you think we should do? We still haven't found any conclusive evidence. Huh? Split up? What do you mean?
You can go to Erinez while I go to investigate that place. I am confident in my combat abilities.
Just as expected of my partner. Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, the culprit's attention will be focused on Erinez, leaving his home base wide open. You're right. This is our best opportunity. All right then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House and charge Marcel as the true culprit. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back in time and hand the decisive evidence to me.
We'll help you, just like you helped us in Linny's trial.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver, when did you two get here?
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require our assistance. It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Erinez. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
You know, I am kind of curious. How old is she?
See you then!
Combining the information regarding the Great Gardamex and the investigation results so far, it can be concluded that there is only one person who can have a large number of Gardamex in his possession and run the synth business without leaving traces. Marcel.
Now that Navia has set out for Erinez, we should also get going.
I really just am curious now. Because she's got a lot on her shoulders. She's doing a lot, very smart. Birthday 8/16. But it doesn't give an age. Well, that's a bummer.
The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over. Huh. According to Malus's info, the synth production base is underwater.
Why can't I grab that?
Let's go and try to find the entrance.
And too shallow, okay. Here we go. I'm sitting here like looking around my screen, desperately trying to find anything that would indicate whether or not I can
Finally found it.
Going or
So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. It sure doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all.
Ah, Mr. Krabs. sure we find an inside will be extraordinary.
You're right. An important place like this is bound to have a ton of protective measures and mechanisms. Navia's probably arguing up a storm right now to stall for us.
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that right? In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend, right? I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey! Don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This isn't the place for you to be looking for fights.
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly, and we have made very little progress. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong man.
Huh? What's going on? Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court with a key eyewitness. But that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court for your interjections.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics? We can put the discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default, correct?
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway, so I'll take you up on that offer. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person you would like to charge instead?
That person is... Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Huh? What Confrérie? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on the legal responsibilities associated with it. And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation. Knowing this, do you still wish to charge this man?
Yes, I do.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court. Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he may stand trial.
Oh boy, let's hope we didn't make a mistake on that one.
Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I still haven't figured out what's going on. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and Navia.
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present your charges.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case.
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father? Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember, both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of a gun. If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm struggling to remember some details of that case.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from a gunshot wound. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose to prove his innocence through a duel. Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarande in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries. These are the known facts about the case.
Okay.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques still had no reason to pull the trigger. In truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father when my father seized the gun from him. After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water, erasing all traces of him from the scene. Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, the guard's conclusion appeared quite sensible to us at the time. However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the abilities of water from the primordial sea.
Hello there. Ninja? Can I just call you Ninja? How are you doing today? Hang on a second, getting the next battle ready to go. If it takes... Let's see... Identify loopholes. There we go. I'm gonna run with the archer. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Florent, the advisor to the Spina di Rosula, claimed that he was very grateful to Callus for his kindness. He was also present at the banquet on the day of the case and could provide evidence that Callus did not carry a gun with him when he went out.
Something's not...
Oh. Okay, during the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots. According to the investigations, Callus, who had a motive to kill, murdered Jacques for his betrayal.
The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. However, in the end, he reconsidered, and instead shared everything with Callus, hoping to seek the latter's protection. Unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit had already considered this possibility, and had sent out another assassin.
Okay, there is no loopholes to be found there. When the guests arrived at the primary scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance Jacques lay dead from a gunshot wound. Based on the investigations done, there was no possibility that anyone else could have done the deed and escaped. Gun in his hands and Jacques, in addition, clothing. Okay.
This assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him instead.
Guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life. This deduction is based on the circumstance where there is no third person on the scene. Turns out there is a method that can cleverly... So, that one.
A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself. But now, it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at the scene, and that they were turned into water after committing the murder. Since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved accomplice.
Nice.
Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the true version of events.
Okay. What'd we get?
Ah, so that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used for all these years?
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives. I guess they didn't shoot each other after all.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal if you wish to prove your innocence.
Ah, but I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine two things. One, do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
I'm afraid not. At least not at this very moment.
Boo! If you don't have any evidence, you should just go home!
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing around the same time, we should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time, regardless of age or gender.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable investigative direction.
Why do I feel like Farina's acting a little differently today?
Almost being cooperative.
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself again?
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen in the last trial.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you described, then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been dissolved, he could have at least mounted a defense.
I've thought about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt there were things that were more important to him. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances case.
What? If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood to lose our lives. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right. But what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no reason to exist. But by staying silent, we retained the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more time to grow and learn. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot and restore my father's truth and honor back to him.
So, you mean to say, your father intended to die in the duelist's ring?
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clarand.
Oh, called out.
I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake.
Nice.
But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callus was intending to die?
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives. In my line of work, I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Some were determined, others passionate, and some even manic and twisted. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are good grounds to reopen this case.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances case.
Didn't we, though?
Right? What she said was fascinating, but kind of beside the point.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And, at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your most endearing traits.
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was the only person present at both events? On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor the place?
I don't know what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations until I'm the only one left on the list. Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter? But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Ah well, let Uncle Marcel teach you another lesson. Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyways.
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callus's patronage. But the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
I do apologize, Demoiselle. This was my mistake.
No, it's not your fault. I'm sure he had come prepared.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first business license against the first known case of the serial disappearances?
That wouldn't really prove anything, though, because he could have been here for months or a year or two, just doing anything to survive. I'm sorry, but that's not a good bit of defense there.
You can also take a look at my border entry records.
That, on the other
friends
hand,
and family when I left Snezhnaya for the first time.
Border entry records would be a solid defense.
Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish in your heart?
Seems like she got the wrong guy. At this rate, Navi will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he neared the end of his life. But aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations right now? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious, instead of dwelling only on your own feelings. Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things, you'd have met most of his expectations.
This isn't just about me, and it never has been. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth, while that same agency has long been taken from them. The people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to their sense of justice.
So are we not going to circle around to the fact that this guy not only has the means, but the funds to have those, what are they called? Those machines? He has access to the money to get the things himself.
Many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming to those of you in the audience as well. And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher?
Ooh.
Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
The entrance of the synth production base. Alright. I wasn't going to take any chances. I wanted to slaughter him. Up and down, we'll be done.
The floor is going up.
Cool elevator design, I like it.
This mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
How long this will take us to get through here.
Hyman thinks we need to go up, but Hyman doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up.
Down we go. Okay, I'm not sure what I'm missing here. What do I need to do? Ah, there we go. Wrong button. Okay, Figured that would happen. Oh, we got more water.
The water level is rising. Now we can swim to the top. But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Swim, 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 swim. Alright.
Stand clear. Absorption test. Born of ice and frost. Nope. Speed of light. Animal test 6308. Hold the line. Born of ice and frost. Stand clear. Incoming. No touching. Don't blink. Animal test 6308. Absorption test. Incoming. Access denied. Allow me. Hold the line. Enhanced animal module. Don't blink.
Excuse you.
Stand clear. Speed of light.
Okay. Some good stuff. And let's raise the water level one more time. And water full enough now? Looking that way. Maybe?
Now the path is clear. Let's go.
Seeing the water run down the screen kind of reminds me of the first GameCube Metroid game. Oh, don't go that way. Okay. Because it had a lot of similar functions in that way. I mean, it was set to mirror your visor, which makes sense.
Let's move out.
These guys look like fun.
Thrust rebuild. Blaze over. Hey! Nowhere to hide. Animal test 6308. Animal hypostasis incoming. Born of ice and hold the line. Stand clear. Got lucky that time. Animal test 6308. No touching. Born of ice and frost. Don't blink. Thrust rebuild. Incoming.
Anybody else? Gone you a little bit of extra HP there.
Hold the line.
Okay. No!
After all that,
She's gonna
we
take some
finally
heavy
made it
damage,
to
I
the
think.
innermost sanctum. Though, as expected, the mastermind isn't here.
Not mistaken, he's being charged by Navi as we speak.
That's right. Then let's hurry and find some evidence so we can get back to the Opera House and help Navia.
Look at all these chests.
What's all this? Aw, it's a bunch of really cute things. Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box.
Stuff from women that's been dissolved?
Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all these cute things labeled with different girls' names?
Probably belong to the victims.
You mean the girls from the serial disappearances? They were brought here? And then they were turned into water, and all the boxes of things. These names. That means... Oh, this is terrible.
Discovered objects within the containers labeled with the names of those who owned them. In the depths of the HQ, these names here must have something to do with the victims in the serial disappearances cases. Might be proof that this was their final stop. That's a little dark. But, to be expected.
Oh, look! There's an important looking basin over here, and it's full of water.
Must be the water from the primordial
That means
sea.
This is where they make all the synth. And that special water is the main ingredient. If you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth. But the pure stuff can dissolve a human.
That actually makes a little bit of sense in terms of just chemistry in general. But look at the fact that the stuff is rising upwards. Fascinating.
Paimon will take notes on this incriminating evidence.
We got a camera. Take pictures. Pool file within the HQ is filled with water from the primordial sea. The mastermind can use this to create synth and directly use it to dissolve people. Over here.
Let's see what's written here. Nothing escapes Detective Paimon's eyes.
Shut up, Paimon.
Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an investigation report on him.
Probably related to his and Jacques' case.
Yep, it's about finding someone to assassinate Jacques and Callus because of a lack of confidence that Jacques himself would go through with it. This should prove the existence of the third person, right?
Yep.
We still have not determined the exact content of the key information Callus has passed on to certain members of his organization. The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us, he will still have the upper hand. He can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. The only option left is to remove him from the picture entirely. I concur. Let's send someone to kill him. He won't declare war as long as we don't touch Navia. Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups.
That is a lot of it.
There's so much synth here. And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the waters of the primordial sea. Mixing in progress. Ready to drink? Stock sample? Huh. They've also got all the synth pretty clearly labeled. Whoa, there's even fruit-flavored synth?
Definitely proves that this is where they produce it.
It's super obvious.
Okay. I don't know, we got too many more places we need to look.
Looks like some kind of place for research. Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea and use his theory as a foundation to achieve a breakthrough. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female specimens 22, 23, and 24 were dissolved. Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just that how can someone write something that terrible in such a matter-of-fact tone? You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going.
Goal of the researchers to save his lover, a woman called Vigneri, who was dissolved.
So that's why he did all of these experiments. Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane!
There's another name here.
Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case.
Indeed. He is the researcher.
You mean Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments?
He signed off on a bunch of the experiment reports. The voice I heard from the fountain was probably...
So that's it! Vache was no victim, but personally took his lover and... No, that's not it either! If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface from the water? In any case, Paimon will write it all down.
Okay. Can't be too many
We've
more
looked
left.
at almost everything here, and it seems like our theories were spot on.
Who really is this Vachier?
Yeah, we haven't found anything that reveals his true identity. No wonder even Nervalette wasn't able to find anything. Whoever it is probably destroyed everything to do with that name a long time ago. That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true culprit. Sure thing. Paimon won't admit defeat to this guy either.
Okay. Look everything here. Examine the bookshelf. Examine the pool. Anything over here? No. Can't go up there. Examine the bottles. How many victims he had to dissolve on his quest to bring his lover back to life. There's nothing here about your true identity.
You take that side and Paimon will take this side. Check everything carefully. We'll find something for sure. Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks either.
Sometimes I just want to knock her upside the damned head and leave her here.
Whoa, really? What Paimon see? Vignier. Isn't that Vache's lover's name? Then you found her diary. Let's see. Aw, it's just a normal diary chronicling their love story.
She made a
She
list
was
of
so
baby
sweet
names.
too. So many! A whole page's worth! But they're all crossed out. Was she unhappy with all of them? The final name she decided on was Marcel. Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he's Vache and Vignier's grown son?
We need to get moving.
Hey! Paimon still hasn't figured it out yet.
Give me just a second. We're going to leave it here for just a second. I gotta go to the bathroom. Be right back. And I really want to finish this one out. let's get this story going. And the final piece of the key evidence, you race back to the opera.
And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher? Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my partner. I just knew you'd return in the nick of time.
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this court?
He getting angry.
It's all right, Monsieur Neuvillette. Given their confidence, I expect they've found the crucial evidence.
You say you've never heard of Vacher. Let's see.
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vacher.
Huh?
We've investigated your lair and we already know everything! After your lover, Venier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you! You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vacher!
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far. And with that, Marcel's motive has now been established.
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense. Well, Marcel, do you know where you went wrong? You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the trial will move on to the next stage.
Do you really think I wanted to do any of this? Pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? Ever known how it feels to watch the love of your life dissolve right in front of your eyes? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing at me. They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vinier's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter at all. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, it's too late now. All those who were dissolved are gone forever. You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice, your beloved drama, while turning a blind eye to the suffering of the people. Venier is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, I will follow. But I'm not from this blasted place. So I can't be dissolved. No matter what I do.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve. Can't dissolve. Can't dissolve! Do you all see? I can't go. I can't follow. So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I have but to try to bring her back? I did all of that, and in the end, that accursed Callus still got the better of me. I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get stabbed by his idiot daughter at the very end.
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please restrain him.
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me. I still need to save Venier. A promise. We made a promise. Venier. Please, Vinyare, don't think badly of me. All I want to do is fulfill our promise.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr. Tartaglia no longer have any basis.
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize the truth behind the serial disappearances case.
Check it out, we've been here for like 3 days, and we're solving all this stuff.
The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher, and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vinyare. During an underwater expedition, Vinyare accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea, and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others, and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Vinyare back to life. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel, and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria, and began to manufacture and market synth. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with Spina di Rosula. After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president Callus at a banquet. Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vacher's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth revealed to all.
That's it? That's all we're getting?
The Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vacher.
Personally, he's got at least 24 known murders under his belt. Probably a lot more.
According to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Vacher is guilty.
Just hanging.
Guards! Take Vacher away.
Good. It's what he deserves.
With that, the serial disappearances case is over now.
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit would be such a polite and well-spoken guy?
Yippee! We helped Navia bring the bad guy to justice! He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's finally getting what he deserves. Huh? Are you okay?
No, that was family to her.
Demoiselle, you were absolutely brilliant.
The day our late boss had always hoped for has finally come. You can rest easy now, knowing justice has been served.
Yeah. Yeah. It's finally over. It's all thanks to you guys. And my partner.
Poor Navia.
See, Papa? Spina di Rosula's still doing well with me at the helm.
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted, and it's a big ol' happy ending.
Sorry, you're a Fatui Harbinger. Get your ass in jail.
Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business to attend to. So, if you'll excuse me...
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
Ugh, what now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can conclude.
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to exit stage left?
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get this over with.
I
Through
almost
evidence presented in the public
very
trial that was
slightly
just
feel
held,
sorry for him.
it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct connection to the serial disappearances case.
But ultimately, I want him taken out, gone, executed.
The guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical to suppose Mr. Tartaglia is innocent of the charges. We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges.
Second here. Nope, won't do it. Okay.
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Tartaglia is guilty.
Look at those eyes. Just say what?
What?
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the Chief Justice.
That's funny as hell.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the Oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
I would buy the Oratrice a beer.
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
What is going on?
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale is, by law, the final verdict of the court. We must accept the guilty verdict. Guards, please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
He's gonna fight.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
Oh. Has justice been served?
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Dude just got freaking wrecked. But still cut. Holy crap!
Hey, Monsieur Novelette, what's going on? Shouldn't they have been cleared already?
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine's court system, the Oratrice's judgment is the final verdict of the court. All I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Even the chief does know, then we have no choice but to ask the Archon.
Why are you looking at me? I had nothing to do with it!
Fiorina, calm down.
I don't know what happened there either. Hey, stop staring at me!
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either, but that's impossible. Didn't she create the Oratrice herself?
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice?
I actually feel really sorry for her.
My dearest citizens, Did you really think we'd allow an incorrect verdict to be handed out in this court? Did you really believe that the judgment could be mistaken or be the result of some sort of random mishap? Don't tell me you thought even I had been blindsided by the Oratrice's result.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious she had no idea what was going on.
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation.
Really?
Everything that just took place, including my supposed shock and bafflement, was a part of an elaborate performance, with every action meant to stir up drama and excitement. And, of course, for every performance there is a script. Everything has unfolded exactly as I expected from the very beginning. As the embodiment of the very concept of justice, the Oratrice shall never render an arbitrary judgment! If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only because you've been blinded by the superficial appearance of innocence.
Now I'm looking to see where this goes, but obviously not tonight.
Everything he's done, not to mention the danger he poses, are beyond ordinary comprehension and completely unforgivable! All shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand my noble intentions, as well as the absolute correctness of the Oratrice's verdict. Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now time for this performance to end. As the lead actress, I shall be the first to take my leave. Toodaloo!
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just said?
She probably just put on that performance to save face. As for the truth, it's unlikely that she actually has any idea. However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised, if the judgment has been incorrect, we will do our utmost to clear his name.
Okay, so let's just put this into a certain level of perspective here. Child, let's just say that he's a level 150 when he was going into his bigger form. This dude just come and knocked the living crap right out of him. Is his level like 300? Because damn.
Alright. Even though we feel pretty badly for him,
No, we don't,
take your
Paimon.
word
Shut
for
up.
it for now. After all, he's done plenty of bad stuff, so he should have known he'd go to prison someday, right?
Okay. Alright, so this is going to be an excellent place for us to leave it off at. Let me get Stream Raiders back up here. We will probably lose this one. It might get a little jittery here, friends, but it's just because I'm bringing my browser back online. It was a valiant attempt. But that's alright. We will be streaming again tomorrow, which of course will bring the Stream Raiders map back online for us. I am looking to raid a good friend of ours. Her name is Dragonspit, and she is currently playing Stardew Valley, which I know some of you have an interest in, so hopefully you will give her a chance to entertain you, as I was given the chance to entertain you this evening. Now I want to say thank you all, friends, for hanging out with me over the last, 3 hours? 3.5. Wow. Let me get our raid message up here, copied in place. All right. There we go, friends. Again, thank you for hanging out with me as we explored the story of Fontaine. We learned some pretty awesome stuff here. it baffles the mind that a game with this much story, this much lore exists out there, and you technically do not have to pay for it. I don't know, it's impressive. Does it not make me feel bad at all that I have spent money on trying to get some of the waifus, as they are, to help support more content for the game. It'll be nice to see where things go from here. But have yourselves a wonderful evening, friends. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. I will, of course, do my best to be here in the morning. We'll see how things go. Hopefully, your Monday workday does not treat you poorly. And we'll probably be back here for some more Genshin tomorrow, because we got more stuff to explore. We got more ground to cover. Hello, CJ. It's okay. Thank you. It's just nice knowing you're here. But give it up for our friend Dragon Spit. We will go say hello to her now. Have yourselves a wonderful night, and I will catch you all on the next live stream. See you later, friends.